All right, friends, if you are somebody who has ever found yourself staying up way past your bedtime, looking at YouTube videos or scrolling Instagram, trying to find that one life hack that is going to make your life infinitely better, this is for you. Now, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody because if I was, I would start by pointing fingers right back at myself. Today we're talking about 3 very simple things that you can do to improve your life over time. They are going to exponentially make your life easier and help it feel better. Also, these things cost $0 and I promise you can start today. I'm Tiffany Hahn. I have been a certified life coach for 13 years. I have helped hundreds of highly creative, high achievers find more joy and flow in their lives and get rid of that overwhelm and frantic energy and have lives that feel as good on the inside as they look on the outside. So let's get into it. And I want to start with a story because the other night I was laying in bed with my phone, even though I had a book on the Kindle that I wanted to read. I often will watch YouTube videos while I get myself ready for bed. And I took my phone from my bathroom into my bedroom to finish a video. And the problem was that I had 3 or 4 other videos that I had seen added to my watch next. They were all about simple, easy ways to improve my life. Now, hopefully you will remember what I'm about to tell you more than what I took away. I could not remember what these videos told me, but I found myself lying there in bed being like, I just want to watch one more video. My eyes were getting so heavy. I just felt really tired, but I couldn't stop. It was like this compulsion, just one more, just one more. The thumbnails and the video titles promised so much, and I thought I would be missing out on something if I put my phone down and stopped what I was doing. It wasn't until I had a moment where I snapped out of it and was like, what am I doing? And I had to throw my phone across the bed, physically dispel it from my hand in order for my trance to break. And I said, oh my God, what am I doing? What is happening? Not my proudest moment. But I want to be clear. This is not the first time that has happened to me. It is not the first time that my dear husband has fallen asleep next to me and wakes up and is like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm just looking. It's like this just becomes, I do this in my sleep. It's all happening unconsciously. And part of the reason that it does, number one, these apps are designed that way. So it's not me, it's not you. We are not the problem. Number 2, in fact, our innate curiosity and creativity and enthusiasm aligns perfectly with what they promise. So we are not the problem. These apps are the problem. And what I want to do today is give you the promise of 3 $0, not life hacks. They are simple, not always easy things that you can do to start improving your life today. The things that I'm going to share, I promise you've heard them before. It's just when people are like, see, I'm out. I promise you've heard them before, and I promise you're not doing them consistently. Now, we've already talked about consistency. I'll post it above. So if you are like, oh, don't talk to me about consistency, I do want to talk to you about consistency. And I have that video for you. So don't go anywhere or watch that next. But here's why I know that you aren't doing them consistently, because nobody is. Because the world is always going to distract us because we are humans, because we forget what we need all the time, because remembering to remember is 95% of the battle. I also know, because I am somebody who teaches this, I feel at this point it just is in my veins and I forget, which means that forgetting is part of the process. Forgetting is part of that human experience. We do not beat ourselves up for it. We do not beat ourselves for getting sucked into technology. We also do not beat ourselves up for buying into the promise that the answer is somewhere out there and that it's our job to go on this quest to find it like we are searching for the Holy Grail. We forgive all of that. And then as we are able to, we come back to ourselves over and over and over again. And so maybe you have come across this in the middle of some kind of feeding frenzy where you are telling yourself, if only I could get there, everything would be easier. If so, I'm glad you're still here. Pay attention, but know that you don't have to keep watching the videos, that you can do something different, the videos aren't going anywhere. The podcasts aren't going anywhere. Y'all, the social media is not going anywhere. Let's make sure that while it waits, that you are able to show up deliberately in your life and get the things that you need for yourself, and that you only go to that other stuff when you are resourced and when you're being intentional and when you know what you're looking for. Let's dive in now to my 3 things. $0. Number 1, journaling. I know. I'm the first life coach ever to talk about journaling. I am not, I promise, and I won't be the last. And I'm going to talk about journaling later on too, because journaling is one of the most effective tools that you can have in your toolbox. It is one of the most accessible tools that you can have in your toolbox. And it is one of the most underutilized tools that you can have in your toolbox. Why is that? Because when you think about journaling, unless you are one of those rare people who just loves journaling, it sounds like a drag. It does not sound fun. It does not sound interesting. And it does not sound like it is going to give us the instantaneous results that we wish we could create. But here is the irony. In fact, journaling can give you pretty instantaneous results if you are willing to sit down and do it. And that is going to be the thing that makes a difference between wanting a transformation in your life and actually starting to achieve the transformation in your life. I don't want you to just think about what you want. I want you to be a person who is able to sustainably and delightfully go out there and create the thing that you are wanting. And I promise, journaling will help you get there if you do it. I know. What does journaling do? Well, it gives you clarity. It helps you process emotion. It helps you process tension. It helps shift your energy so that you are able to get out of your head and get back in your body. It also helps you clear energy. So if you are swirling around negative stuff, goodbye. It helps reduce stress. Yes. It helps you get in touch with your intuition. And it helps you understand yourself, which means it brings you closer to yourself. And so often, all we want when we say we want those big transformations is we want to be living as the most true version of ourselves. I know that there is this amazing hottie McHottie, hilarious, super amazing, generous, wise person inside me. And I want my outside life to align with who that is on the inside. Listen to me. If that resonates to you and you are not journaling, do yourself a favor and start journaling. But does that mean that I need you to sit down with a notebook for 30 minutes a day and write until your hand cramps and do 1,800 morning pages? No. If you want to do morning pages, great. If you want to handwrite your journaling, great. If you want to do it till your hand cramps, great. I don't care how you journal. I just care that you journal. I just care that you get into some sort of habit of showing up and processing the things that are within you, or all the things that you don't know, because I know we tend to run away from I don't know. I want you to stay in the room with it. Now, here are some ways to start journaling that do not feel like journaling, and instead are like super scrappy, easy ways. Number 1, you can journal on a Post-it. This. If you hate journaling, great. Go ahead and write one thing. It could be, I hate journaling. Okay, sure. You can journal on a note card. Your journal entries can be bullet points. You can start out a journaling entry by writing, I don't know what to write about today. You do not have to do the romanticized version of journaling. Listen, if you want to journal in a Google Doc, hop to it. If you want to journal in your notes app, great. If you want to send yourself text messages, great. Guess what? Do you even have to write it? No, you can speak it out. You can do verbal journaling. You can send yourself voice memos. Did you know you can do that? Yes, you can. If you use anything like WhatsApp or Marco Polo, you can send yourself voice memos like that. Whoa, well, can I do voice memos sometimes and write it sometimes and type it sometimes and bullet point it sometimes and post-it notes sometimes? Yeah. Literally, you can do whatever you want. If journaling feels really precious to you, then I'm going to encourage you. If journaling feels really precious to you, I'm going to encourage you to not use something like this, Leuchtturm, like a journal, write it all down journal. Don't do this. If journaling feels too precious and you put pressure on yourself, instead grab whatever scrap paper you can find. We could use the script for this video. Journal in the margins. Okay, great. Don't grab this fine tip pen. Use a marker. Use a crayon. Use a highlighter. Whatever we can do to get you into the practice of it is going to be so much more powerful than you figuring out the right way to do it. We don't care about the right way. There is no right way. The right way is the way you do it. If you're like, yeah, I know, then go do some journaling. You don't even have to have, I need journaling prompt. No, what are you most afraid of right now? What does your crazy faith want you to know? What would you do if you weren't afraid? What does that version inside you want you to do next? Great. There are your journal prompts. Go. Let's see what happens. Oh, but I can't remember to be consistent. So you're going to watch my video on consistency, right? I don't even need you to journal every day. What I want is for you to start journaling when you are feeling, like antsy, or like, I don't know what to do with myself, or like, this isn't working, or, this is working, but that makes me afraid. All of those great times to journal. So much more powerful for you to journal when those things show up than every morning at 7:15 on the dot, like a little ritual. If morning rituals work for you, great. If they don't, do this instead. I promise it's going to be just as effective. Okay, number 2, simple, not always easy, but you can start today, and this one's free. Pay attention to your values. Pay attention to your core values. What are my core values? Well, there's a class for that. I'll leave a link in the show notes if you want to take it. It's a good one. I made it. It's great. Your core values are the things that matter most to you, and they are the reasons that you have for essentially doing everything that you do. And so often, the way that we live our lives becomes unconscious. It becomes automatic. It becomes habitual. And our values are not even part of the conversation. And I am someone who teaches values. I have a class called Core Values Masterclass. I teach people about values, and I forget to consider my values on an ongoing basis. I do. What would help with that? I don't know. Journaling, probably. I'm not just a spokesperson. I'm also a client. What happens when you start paying attention to your values is that you get to start aligning your actions, which can, number one, it can just help you understand why you're doing certain things. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why am I'm busting my butt to get to the PTO meeting? Why do I think it's so important to show up for dinner with my family? Why am I unwilling to go to that person that I don't like's dinner party? Whatever. Why do I feel resentful of this thing or this thing or this thing? Why is there some sort of a conflict or tension between me and somebody's personality? Why do I continue to insist that things are done a certain way when I know that my life would be easier if I just let it go and let it happen in some other way? Why is that? Oh, my values. So what values do is they help sharpen your focus on what you want and what you need and why certain things matter. Here's the other thing that you can get from values right away. And if you are somebody who is in the I don't know zone, should I take this job or take this job? Should I da-da-da or should I da-da-da? Values are going to help you see if there is a clear yes, no answer, which is great. But the other thing values help you do is understand that the specific action you take matters way less than why you're doing it and how you're moving through your life. So let's say that I have a value of respect. Great. And I am trying to decide, do I stay in my job or do I take this other job? And you're like, well, Tiffany, my boss at this job completely disrespects me. I'm sorry, and you deserve better. But I don't know what it's going to be like here. I mean, I get a read, but like also I thought that boss would respect me, and then it kind of turned toxic. And so you never really know. So am I really, right? We've all had a version of this conversation with ourselves, right? We can all just go down that rabbit hole. By understanding that your top value is respect, you get to rise up from the this or that juggle. And you get to start looking at your life through a different lens where we get to say, what are all of the different things you can do to honor your value of respect? Oh, interesting. I can show up for my family differently. I can be in relationship with myself with my body in a respectful or a more respectful way? Oh, interesting. What would open up for you if you were like, I'm going to show myself more respect? What would open up for you if you were like, I am not going to tolerate disrespect? And if somebody is disrespecting me, I am going to disengage as much as I possibly can, given whatever circumstance I'm in. You may not be throwing your lemonade in your boss's face, but there are things that you are not going to participate in. Great. Okay. Well, but I still don't know if I need that job. Here's the thing though. By honoring your value of respect in different ways, it takes the pressure off of that decision that you are trying to grapple with and that you are holding so tightly. And it gives you so much more perspective, and it allows you to see, where do you have choice? Where are you able to create that thing that you want, which is really honoring your value of respect. It's not about, this job is not the answer. It might be an answer, but so might staying here and having some conversations with some people to see if that respect goes away. But you are no longer putting all of your fulfillment on one of these two external things to light you up and keep you happy. Because what we know is that you can go to this job and maybe it's great. Awesome. That would be the goal. But also maybe it's great for a while and then you get bored again and then you start looking for another job and then you think, maybe I'm just a person who's never going to be happy in a job. And is that me? Oh, I don't know. I don't want that to be me. Values. Values are an answer. To get started, what do you want to do next? We have a class for that. But for right now, and also if you don't have time for a class, that's fine. Or if you want to do that later, that is fine. I promise you $0. Start today. Here's what you can do next. Think about one thing that is important to you. What's one thing that's important to you? Now, did the word family just pop in your head? Ooh, family. Great. I'm going to asterisk that and say, if those of y'all who have taken my core values class know why I don't love family as a value. I mean, I love it as a value, but I don't want you to say it's one of your values, because family as a value can often lead to obligation. So instead, I want you to go one layer deeper under family and say, what about family is so important to you? Is it the love? Is it the respect? Is it the integrity? Is it honoring somebody? Is it beauty? Is it community? Is it connection? Is it creativity? What is it about family? Okay, yes. And let me know. I would love it. I would love to hear from y'all in the comments. You can tell me over on Instagram or send me a DM. What is one of your top values? It doesn't have to be your only top value. We are not revoking family if you decide to go with beauty. Not at all. You don't even have to tell anyone out loud, because we're not saying, I don't care about you. No. Just a top value. Just one of many. Let me know what it is. I'm very curious. After you've identified one of your values, just one, pick it now. I'm sure it's already popped into your head. Great. Hold on to that. It's a good enough place to start. Think about which actions that you did today, wherever day you're watching this, which actions today aligned with that value and which ones didn't. We're not doing this to shame. We are not doing this to point fingers. We're not doing this to make you wrong. We are doing it to get information, to collect data, because we are scientists and we want you to have more things in your life that align with your values and less that don't. And slowly, if you make little tiny shifts over time, they compound. And then you're like, oh, I've grown a whole tree of fulfillment. That's right. And I want all of us living under a tree of fulfillment every single day of our lives. Start today. Okay. Not a life hack number 3, simple, not always easy. Get more sleep. Woo! I know it's revelatory here that I am telling adults to get more sleep in the year of our Lord 2024. I know that is maybe not a revelation to you, but I want to talk about it differently, because that story I told in the beginning, staying up late, scrolling my phone, my eyes are so heavy, looking for life hacks, when what I really needed was to go to bed. But Tiffany, I have insomnia. We'll get there. We will get there. We all know sleep is important, but I don't know that we know really how important sleep is and that we've quite absorbed it, because we might know sleep is important, but do you know that the quality of sleep you get tonight and tomorrow night and the night after is important for your continued thriving on this planet and in your life? And Getting more sleep is going to help everything else you do become easier, including journaling and honoring your values. So, sleep is going to help give you mental clarity. It's going to give you physical health. It's going to give you vitality. It is also going to give your brain a chance to process all of those things you're working really hard to figure out. Oh, I just feel like I'm banging my head against a wall. Yeah, go to sleep. Take a nap. It is actually really active problem solving that happens while you're asleep in a different part of your brain. It's amazing. It is amazing. And it's going to help you be able to show up better to every single thing that matters most to you. So the thing of I'm too busy working to go to sleep, you're going to be so much more effective with more rest. Okay. So we know that. We know all that. I'm not like breaking the internet here with breaking news. How do we know it? How do I get my phone out of my hand to go to bed at night? Yes. Here's what I need. This is such an annoying answer. Something's gonna have to give. I watch very little television, y'all. Such small amounts of TV. And I kind of hate it because people are talking about, I don't know, Breaking Bad and The Office and House of the Dragon and Parks and Rec. There are all of these things that have just become common pop culture references. And I'm like, I don't know what I haven't watched. Would I love to? Sure. If my life was arranged differently. But honestly, I'd rather go to bed. Something's got to give, right? Now, maybe what has to give too is some scrolling time. I do like a good 45 minutes of television, and sometimes my goal is to just watch more TV. I just want more downtime that's not me feeling really tired. That is also okay. But I want you to think about the things we talked about before, the increased mental clarity, the problem solving that happens literally in your sleep, physical well-being, more energy, being more effective at everything you want to show up to. Everything gets easier when you sleep. What would you be willing to trade for that? What would you be willing to trade? Listen. Maybe you should journal on it. Can you believe me? And think about how more sleep would be helping you honor your values. For me, when I think about my top value being integrity, me getting more sleep is just me giving my body what it needs. Whoa. What a revelation. So 1, what are you willing to give up? 2, what do you need? And this is where the conversation about insomnia comes in. If you have insomnia, if you have the kind of insomnia that is a wake up in the middle of the night thing, I've had that on and off for, I don't know, my whole adult life. Thank you, anxiety and ADHD. If that is you, going to bed earlier is going to help you so much because you are going to get more sleep. And for me, what I know is that when I am in that place where I'm waking up often in the middle of that 4 a.m. thing, which as an aside, a friend told me that was when the veil between the spirit world and our human world is the thinnest. And so it might be someone from the spirit world trying to send you messages. Okay, sure. What do you want me to know, angels? Anyway, if that is you, going to bed earlier will help you get more sleep and will help those 4 a.m. wake ups be so much more survivable. If you are in the I have a hard time falling asleep camp, think about your entire evening. Ugh, Tiffany, you said I could start this today at $0 and now I have to have a whole evening routine. I want you to think about starting at 5 p.m. Yeah. I'm not asking you to have a routine, but I am asking you to be deliberate and to think about how you're showing up and how you're moving through your life. Oh, well, I don't eat dinner until 9:30, so I can't go to bed until 11. Okay, what do you need to do to eat dinner earlier? What do you need to do? Oh, well, then I'm going to have to okay. Guess what? Whatever you need to do to eat dinner earlier, getting better sleep is going to help you. So the wonderful thing about these 3 non-hacks that I'm giving you, the journaling, the values, the getting better sleep, is that they all become regenerative and end up giving you way more energy than they require. So they're going to help you immediately. And then over the long run, your life is going to start feeling so much better. And now I'm at a place where I don't even care that I'm missing TV because it feels so good to go to sleep. Does that mean that I am one of those people who is in bed by 8:45 every? Oh, No, y'all. Oh my God. No. Does it mean that sometimes my demons get the best of me and I'm like, I want to stay up until midnight and look at my phone? Sure. Of course. I'm still a human. Living in 2024 with the internet and a stupid smartphone, like a little distraction gremlin in my pocket. Yes, yes, yes. Of course. I am not asking you to be perfect. I'm just asking you to try and to practice and to play and to see what happens. Okay, what do you think? Can you start today? Can you trust me when I say that shifts are possible and that they're closer than you think? Are you willing to play with this? Are you willing to practice and experiment and see what can come of this? All right, what do you think? There you have it. What do you think? 3 simple things that you can do that are going to revolutionize your life. No fancy equipment. You don't have to order anything from Amazon. I don't have an affiliate list at the bottom with all the courses that you can take. I do have my Core Values Masterclass course, but I'm not an affiliate for it. It is my class. I made it. Tell me where you're going to start. Tell me if you are like, oh, I can't believe you're asking me to do this. I hate you, but also thank you. Yes, I will take that as well. You're amazing. Keep me posted. Also, y'all, if you found this helpful, like, comment, subscribe, do the things. And if you don't mind, tell a friend. That would be awesome. If you're listening on the podcast, leave me a review. That would also be awesome. It's so helpful. Helps other people know that the show is worth listening to. Thank you in advance to all of you who are going to do that. Thank you to everyone who has already done that. I love and adore you, and I will see you soon.